Hi guys, it is Sharon with Little Britain Company, and hey, how you doing? So as you know, have been super busy trying to get. Basically, we're redoing the craft room, and that meant hauling everything out of the craft room, and then bringing things back. You can see a little debris on the sides here, and then only bringing things back in when I had a home and a place for them, and that has taken just wow, a lot longer than I thought it was going to. So, but everything was going along well. So what we did was we set up my big tent because I have, for my shows, I have a really very nice tent that we use. Sorry about the camera, and so what we did was we set it up and we just took everything out of the room and put it all straight into the tent. We put up some tables, moved everything into the tent. It was a lot. It was a lot. Um, and then and then I started going through it and bringing things back in. And at that, so at, we're now in the beginning of week three. This is the beginning of the third week of doing this. And it's going along pretty well. And so I had handled all of the paper products, and for the most part, and what we had left in the tent was still my fabric, my sewing, those other things, and all good. It was all good. That was fine. We've had a bunch of sunny days, and then suddenly, the day before yesterday, we had a big thunderstorm come through. Came out of nowhere. No one was expecting it. It wasn't called for. Big, huge thunderstorm goes through, and we're like, it's fine. I can see, everything's fine and dry under the tent. We've had that tent in rain, and, well, I don't know what the difference was, but I got up yesterday morning and there was like a box had been knocked over. I could see things that had been strewn outside of the fence because the whole fence was sealed up, zipped down and sealed up. I'm like, well, that's not good. I wonder if something knocked into a side, knocked it over. So I went out and opened up the tent, started putting things away, and realized that a corner of the tent had capsized. So much water came down in the short period of time that we had that thunderstorm that it actually created a big pocket of water. And it was a mess. Yesterday was just dealing with the tent capsized. Little Britt and I were out there most of the day, cleaning things up, moving things around, trying to, taking the tent completely apart. We found that one leg of the tent was damaged because of the way, I don't know how, the water overwhelmed it, and it bent the top of the leg. So Big Brit was able to push it back in place. It will never be as strong. But that's my story for the day. So, sometimes this stuff happens. There was no way to predict it, and there was no way to predict that the tent itself would not hold up. But there it is. He thinks that he was able to bend the leg, the top of the leg back enough that it should be okay for the rest of this season. We'll buy a new one next season, which is a pain, because, these nice canopy tents, they are not cheap. They are not cheap. Not at all. But that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. Nothing fell on it. There were no tree branches on it. It really just, it must have, like a little pocket must have formed, and the water then started gathering and leaning it, and the water was so heavy. These tent legs are meant to withstand this stuff, but the water was so heavy. When Little Brit and I dumped the water out of the one section, we thought we got it all, and we were then taking things out and realized that more water had shifted into another bigger section over everything else. All in all, I had very little loss, and most things were in covered, sealed boxes. So, so for the most part, everything was really perfectly safe. We just needed to clean it off and, dry a few things out. I needed to wash some things that, that had gotten wet. So it all had to be rewashed, the fabric. But yeah, super fun, super fun. Last year, I was looking back at a video last year at about this time, our refrigerator broke down. And I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a July thing. It's gonna be once a year in July. Something's gonna happen. We actually thought a couple of days before that the washing machine had stopped because it was no longer spinning. And I was like, oh no, we don't need this. But I did remember that had happened once before, and Big Brit was able to fix it. And it turns out when it stops spinning, it's because enough debris has collected in its collection cup that you just have to clean it. You have to empty out that debris and you're good to go. So, okay, having said all that, you might wonder what your scent, but y'all probably already know because it's in the description. One of the things that I've been doing as I have been cleaning is when I come across a project that I wanted to complete, I'm just pulling it out and getting it done so I can check it off the list and move it out. So when I've had enough of cleaning, when I've gotten so much done that I'm just like, you know what, I just cannot do another. I can't go through one more box. I give myself a mind break by working on something else. And this is what I've been working on. These are the ones I've been talking about this now for, oh my gosh, more than a year. These are the my new junk journal kits. I've been talking about doing these and I have finally gotten them done and I wanted to show them to you. You ready? I'm super excited. I'm just going to move this a little bit out of the way. You can see there's a little bit going on over here. They are not done, by the way. Oh my golly, I'm really knocking the camera around today. There's more I want to do. There's a few more things that I want to add to them. I've got a couple of things in the process and I'm going to show you one of those today. But let me show you what we've got so far. So you can, these are pretty thick at this point. Okay, so I'm going to show you a sneak peek on the back of some of the things that are in here. So I have 2 of the bug kits. Now, what's in the bug kit? Most of the kits are pretty much, they have the same types of components in them. What you're going to find in here is a little golden book. In all of them, you're going to find a little golden book. One of the things that I've done, which is, I don't know if I've seen other people do this, I've already pre-cut a 2.5-inch spine. So when you get a kit, you actually get the spine. You don't have to worry about doing that. You're at the stage where you can start putting things together. In here, I've already added printed paper. I've already added in, which has already been folded and ready to go into the books, but I did not cut it down. It's from 12 by 12, and you may want to, but I wanted to let people cut that down a little bit more based on their own interests. So you have regular, the folded, you also have some that I've created pockets out of the paper. You have, the whole book is in here. There's some trim, you can see that. That is 1.5 foot of the eyelet lace. There's the clothespin. There'll be a specialized paper clip. There are vintage book pages. There's vintage magazine pages. There's tickets and, oh my word. It really is jam-packed. I think at this point, this kit has more than 70 items. So my plan, and I'm almost done with it. Oh, there's flashcards and, so anyway, the plan is to, when these have the full 100 items in them, I'll be ready to sell them. And we're about there. These will be ready by this weekend, but we're going away. So when I get back at the end of July, I'm rambling. So one of the only things it's not, so I did not include Tyvek. That's something simple that people can pick up at their local post office is by getting one of the envelopes. There are envelopes in here. There are, okay, so just, oh my gosh, guys, seriously, so much stuff. I think this at this point in time is about 2 pounds. So we have the Bugs kit. They have 2 of those. I have one, Where Do Giggles Come From? That one is turning out so sweet. Oh yeah, there are bags in here. I have one, Where Do Kisses Come From? I have one, 2 Little Gardeners. Let's see what else we have in here. I have the Little Red Hen. I think we have three 3 little red hens. 4 pokey little puppies. Now, although they all have similar things inside, they're not the same, of course. When you start dealing with vintage things that you're putting into them, they're certainly not the same, and they are themed. So you're going to find themed pieces inside them. Airplanes. That was so cute. I'm having the most fun with this one. This one already has extra pieces because I came across a 30-year-old magazine that had some space stuff in it. It was a Life magazine. So that was super fun finding that one. I have, so there's only 1 airplane, 1 solar system, 1 counting book, 1 dump truck. So cute. 1 sailor dog. 1 how the turtle got its shell. And then, okay, so we have 5 of the Old MacDonald Had a Farm. So they've just been super fun to put together. Like I said, I've got these different paper clips, different bags, different vintage pieces in each one. All carrying on the theme of the book. This one out of the way. So I thought I would take one apart and just show you what's in one of them. I'm going to move these back over here. I'm going to set these back up. It was funny because when I started this, I just started by putting the book and the spine into this box. And the box has taken on a life of its own. This thing is so heavy now. It was not. It was not that heavy before, okay? Gotta switch these around because they do not. Oh, they did. They used to. Let me put those in there. All right, so let me move this out of the way. I'm going to show you what's in one of them. So far, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Maybe I'll zoom out a little bit here. That was a little bit too close. So let's just take this one apart and see what we got. All right, so inside each one, I'm going to just spill it out. Inside this one, you have the full Little Golden Book. Now, some of these Little Golden Books, from where I got them, they got like a big sticker on here, but to me, that's fine. Some of them are in better shape than others. None of them are in terrible shape. None of them are falling apart. But that just depends on the book and the age. But some of them are certainly in better shape than the others. I just think this solar system book is super fun. Okay, so you've got this is, like I said, this is a full 18 inches. So you get half a yard of the eyelet. Isn't that pretty? Of the eyelet. And you can put that on the pages. You can put that on the spine. You can do whatever you want with that. With 18 inches, that's enough that it could go on 3 pages or the spine and 2 pages. So you get some interesting papers here. So this one has a couple of red sheets. It's got a couple of blue. I'm trying to figure out if I can get this in a place where you can really see it best. So we have a few kind of fun flashcards. Oh, yep, we've got index cards in here for journaling. So there are a couple of things in here. These are just some journaling, you've got a little journaling pieces, and you've got, this one has some interesting papers. Love that one. I did not go with a full-on space theme, although I do think actually this one has a space paper that's going into it that isn't in here yet. I liked this. This really seemed very, I don't know, to me, space-like. So these are some of your, these are just the general pages. This one is your folder paper. I really do have to bring that out. Let's try something a little bit here. That's better. Then you have your envelope, and this one has the star paper clip. This is, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a linen paper. It is vintage. It's this one's, I think, about 50 years old. Yeah, that's about right. And it looks that, I don't know if you can, let's see if we can get, like, really get it to hone in on. Do you see that? That's just the lovely texture of these papers. So there's one of these in each of them. Let me do that better. Oh, there's another one of these. Oh, I thought that was cute with the stars. Another card. You get a large index card. This is big enough that it could actually be added straight to be almost like a full page. And this one is about 40 years old. So there are a lot of vintage pieces in here. That little guy, you get the this is like a postcard, by the way. It's heavy duty. And then, excuse me. This is another, this is not quite as heavy as that one. This is an exact 6x4. This one's a little bit bigger. This one is, let's take a quick look. This one is a little over 6 by a little over 4.5. That's why that one's so big. And you get a bag. So in this one, you get this amazing, this I believe was from 1993, Life magazine. And it was about Krista McAuliffe. And this was of course, no, this was 94 because it was 10 years after, I think that's right. No, 93. Anyway, it was exactly 10 years after the disaster in the sky. And then there's more information and original pictures. So I thought that was really fun to come across. You get this sentiment page. You get to go to the stars. I included the crossword because I thought it was just a super fun, cool thing to do. You also get this lovely vintage page to use however you see fit about the sky and outdoors. I thought that was really fun, along with this cool, take that one off so you can see it, this cool little paper clip. And then you get another page. I think this is funny. This is from a different Life magazine, and just what was going on in our world around this time. So it really just depends on what you're using them for. Remember, what you have in here you can use for this one, you can use for any of them. I did include tickets for you to do something with. There are 10 tickets in here. I love including the time card. I thought that was super fun. This is a book page. I believe this book was from, this book is 40 years old. I want to say 40. I just thought it was fun. The Houdini, because that's kind of what I see space as being, kind of this magical thing. Here is your spine. So you can put this together. Now I'm also going to include a link to the my series where I did this bit by bit and really did a walkthrough. It's not intended to be a complete everything you need to make an entire junk journal, because junk journals they have a lot of stuff in them. There's a lot in your junk journals, but this will fully put together a junk journal and get you started. Isn't that fun? I love that one. Then you also have a vintage tag. Again, I got, and one of the reasons that I know, the magazines, it's easy to know the pages, the dates on them because I have the actual magazines. The book, I had the actual book. Some of these I bought at estate sales, so I do know the age of them, or the approximate age of them. So this is fun. This is an original library pocket. It came straight out of a book that was being tossed and thrown away. And then inside are some little tags for you to do what you so please. I also included, I thought this was just fun. I really enjoy putting in some calendar pages. And I liked how these were sort of align with, plant potatoes in the dark of the moon. So I liked how those aligned. You get they're all different, of course. Many of these things, they're all individualized. Everybody gets each kit has act of kindness. This is a vintage label. I have no idea how old this was. I know that the packaging was quite browned. So there's one of those in there. What else do we have here? Oh my gracious. This is another one that came out of that estate sale. So I know, and certainly all appeared to be definitely 40, but possibly older, 40 to 50 years old. There are these receipts. I thought those were fun. And then because it's Little Brit & Co., I have included these vintage Keep Calm and Carry On, and then the list. So the Keep Calm and Carry On pieces go in there too. So that is what's in it so far. I'm going to go ahead and put the kit back together again. Otherwise, it's just madness. These have been, I will say, so fun to put together. So incredibly fun to put together, to find the pieces, and to, there are some more specialty pieces going into these. So as I said, there should be, there's some stickers going in too. When it's done, there should be 100 individual pieces inside. There might be more. Okay, let me get this one in. Coming across the older magazines, that was fun. It's funny though, I will say, because I was still kind of a kid in the 90s, and looking back and realizing that the 90s was so long ago, kind of makes me go, oh, wait a minute, when did that happen? Okay, so this one is where we are so far. As I said, we're still coming together. So one of the things I wanted to put into these was a vintage envelope. So there are envelopes, and there's an envelope in there already. So I am actually making individual envelopes for each one of these. And I thought that this would just be fun. They are all coming from the Cat and Hat book. I had a book that was damaged. I knew it, there was no point in trying to salvage it. And it's one of the older ones, but it's unfortunate. I don't like losing older books. So I made several different mock-ups for what I thought I might want to include. So here I have the two longer, sort of taller envelopes. Can't get my setting where I want it to be. So here are two longer envelopes. These are more like pockets. So this one's kind of cool because you have 1, 2, 3, and I think, yes, and you can do something here. So you kind of get 4. Oh, and there's one back here. So you almost get, a bunch of different pockets on there. And then this one is pretty similar to this one, but you fold things back. And so you get, because these are all just folding. These are not, but so then you have a pocket here and here and here. So you get 3, and then if you're, if you want to, you can, when you attach it to your book, you can just glue down here, here, and here, and then that leaves you this back section as an additional pocket, as does this one. So I looked at these and I just was not loving these as much as I think I would need to do more to these to really love them. I like this one. I've done these before and I like this one, but I felt like I was losing too much of the picture. And I really wanted to be able to show the picture. Now, I guess you could always put it in like this and then, you know, try to get this in that way if you want to put that down. But I just did not like the way that one was working out. So this was the winner to me, because when you make them like this, I can absolutely see at least a big section of the envelope. And quite frankly, if I wanted to, I don't have to glue this down. I could just stick this into another open section in the book, into a pocket, and then I wouldn't have to lose any of the picture. So this one had a lot of interesting aspects. What I did, because I had to make, there are 23 different book things here. Oh, and there's more of, there will be sections like this coming out. There's going to be a little pocket full of like little ephemera. Anyway, so I decided that I was going to go through and try to figure out what I actually wanted to be the cover of each pocket. This has really got to go back here so you can really see it. So, and you can see there's, you know, with some of these, there's a lot going on. How do I make sure that I'm trying to get something that makes sense? So I went through each one. I honestly don't even know. I just was folding. And I simply folded them all in the direction that I wanted them to go. And then I love that one, but I couldn't figure out how to hold on to most of what he was doing there. So then, see all those, that's where we are. And then over here, I started folding them down to prepare them for gluing. So what I thought would be fun as a little addition to what I was showing you is to do one. Just do one of these. I've done these in the past. I do enjoy doing these. So I'm going to grab one of my pages, and I have, there's a lot going on here that I really do hate to lose, but I have to decide what it is I want to be front and center. So what I think I'm going to go for is the books. I want to show this part. I'm only going to be able to show just under half of whatever's on the picture. So in order to make sure that I show the books, this is the part that has to fold over and be glued down. Let me show you how I do this. And I honestly, I just eyeball it, guys. I'm not getting stuff out to measure it, but I did actually go back and measure before I sat down to do this video with you. And so what I do is I measure this down. It's about a 1/2 inch. Does not look quite straight. Is that straight? I also really try to get these straight because it's going to affect your final project. That looks a little bit straighter. There we go. Okay, so I got this one. So this one little section is about a 1/2 inch over. You can see now. So what I'm going to do for the moment is I'm going to slide this piece under. What that does for me, honestly, just by sliding it under, is it just kind of aligns it, and it tells me exactly how far I can go. Make sure it's lined up right. I'm going to hold it really tight in the middle and come out. Here's my bone folder, because when I'm done, it's actually going to look like that. And it's okay if we see a little bit. Why are we seeing so much? It's okay if we see a little bit. That seems like... So I'm just going to straighten it out a little bit now that I've got that looked at. Okay. And then I'm going to go down here. And again, I'm going to go up by about a 1/2 inch. Now, because even though I'm pretty sure that both sides are straight, only one side came straight out of the book. So I try to align it with that side. Okay, and that is approximately a 1/2 inch. That's the bottom of my envelope. And then for this part, I'm going to go down. It's going to be approximately 1.5 inches. But you know what? It can be anything. It does not have to be 1.5 inches. If you want it to go all the way down so that you have a much more squat envelope, you can do that. You can do whatever you want, which is, the joy of this. Okay, so I've got it this far, and I want to remember this is going to be my flap over. So that doesn't go anywhere. This part right here. This is what you're going to attach to. I need the bottom part to hold on to. So here's what I'm going to cut. Now I can zoom in a little bit. All right. And I will tell you, it is hard to cut. It is a pain to see. I'm going to cut on the inside, this side of where that fold is, but just a tiny bit. Just because I don't want to keep that fold, but I don't want to lose much in the way of my paper. When I get to the corner, I'm just going to give it a little notch. There's that one. So on this side, I'm doing pretty much the same thing. Now, if you want this to be perfect, you can measure it and all sorts of things. I don't care about perfect. I just don't. I am an imperfect person. Okay, and then I'm doing the same thing over here, just on the inside. And then I am not going to come down much. I don't want to lose much. Right to the corner. On this one, I'm going to do something pretty similar. Right to the corner. And then I'm going to gonna notch it just ever so briefly. Okay, so I've got my, go back out again. I've got my envelope cut out, and I want you to see. I want to be able to speak. This bigger piece is so cute for just a little interesting ephemera piece. I really like to keep these and add them into my journals. I think it's just kind of cool. This cute little, I just evened it up a little bit. And I've got this wonderful little ephemera piece. And I love that it's got the full birthday cake on it. So I have, I've made myself a little pile of ephemera pieces. And if it doesn't have anything on it, I can stamp on it. There's so much I can do. It's lovely. Okay. So we're almost done. We are almost done. So I'm going to get out my handy dandy glue. And I am going to start by gluing down this side. I swear, I think that this is, if my glue isn't, there we go. Just have to make sure. Okay, I'm going to do it this way so that I know so that I can see where something begins and ends. Okay. I will show you what I like to do. You can do it however you choose. Got a little notch right there. Okay. So that part, I actually like to see this bottom part. I don't know why. I just do. I think it looks kind of cute. It really just depends on which. There are a few that I don't, but for the most part, I like to see the little bottom part. And the other reason I like to do it this way and to attach the bottom part on the outside is that if you slide something all the way down into the envelope, it won't get stuck. It won't get stuck. Guys, that's really it. That is it. This one looks slightly off to me, so I'm just gonna, look how cute that is. It looks like the Cat in the Hat is wearing an upside down fishbowl on his head. So I'm pretty sure this one's going to go into the Sailor Dog book. But I just think it's adorable. I love the fact that you see books here. You can there's more you could do here. You could add in a notch if you want to. I think a notch might be fun right on the top here. So if you slide something in, it's easier to get out. You could add a notch to this one. You could hole punch through here and then add one of the reinforcers and then add a piece down here where you can actually add the string in, or you could add the, not the hole punch. Well, you could do that too if you wanted to. You could put in, I mean, there's just so many options. There really are a ton of options. Personally, I like to leave them open. I really don't feel the need to create a closure for them. And remember, if you decide just to tuck this into a pocket, you can just tuck it in just like this, and you have all of this beauty up back here. You can add a label, you can add anything you want. Sky is the limit. So that's what I had for you today. I'm going to finish putting these together and adding them into the kits. I'll be finishing the kits up this weekend. They will be, if you're interested, if you're at all interested, they'll be available for sale. You just have to message me in the, you can use Facebook Messenger to message me at Little Brit & Co. And yeah. So I would love to see what you guys think. I mean, if you, regardless of whether you're interested in buying one, I would be very interested if you tell me what you think about what I've got as far as the kits go and the price. My price on these, I believe I'm going to be asking, well, I know that I'm going to be asking $40. Just there's so much that goes into these, and the vintage books and the vintage pieces, and the entire book. So tell me what you think. Do you think that's the right, do you think that's the right amount? Do you think that, what do you think of what's in the kit? Am I missing something that you think really should be included? Do you like that I've included the spine? I'm super interested to know what you think, because you guys have the best ideas. You really do. You really do. All right. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I will talk to you next time. Cheers.